Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry, it's evening here. Good day to everyone. So, I'm Ambika, and my presentation is titled Visualizing Kerala's 2018 Flood, Film and Realities. So, a little background to begin with. Kerala's geographical positioning along the southwestern coast of peninsular India marks its significance within the Indian Ocean realm. It is a relatively young landmass that was made through a series of transgressions and regressions by the sea over a few million years. Known for its diverse geography, this region features sandy plains, red soil undulations bordered by Western Ghat forests, a 780-kilometer coastline along the Arabian Sea, lakes, backwaters, and a rich cultural heritage, all contributing to its substantial ecological diversity. However, Kerala confronts several environmental challenges linked to geographical complexities and human activities, including rampant deforestation, swift urbanization, unchecked industrial growth, and unsustainable agricultural practices. These factors have led to habitat degradation, increased soil erosion, and elevated water pollution levels. Floods have been a recurring phenomenon in Kerala. The one in 1924, referred to as the Great Flood of 99, that had resulted in the washing away of an entire mountain and also the first monorail project in India. This is known in Malayalam as Tonnuti Onpadile Vellapokkam. Vellapokkam is the Malayalam word for the common word for flood, which literally translates to the rise of water. We also use the word pralayam, which is a word from Sanskrit, often used to connote the final deluge or in the context of eschatology. So the flood in 1924 which was caused by incessant rain. And now coming to the 2018 flood. The devastating floods of 2018 emerged as one of the most severe natural disasters in the state's history, magnifying vulnerabilities by a confluence of heavy rainfall and human-induced factors. Commencing in late May 2018, the monsoon rains intensified in August, culminating in widespread flooding and landslides across Kerala. The unprecedented deluge caused rivers to breach their banks, inundating low-lying areas and triggering landslides in hilly terrain. Infrastructure endured substantial damage, with approximately 21,000 kilometers of roads and 10,000 buildings affected, disrupting communication and transportation networks. An estimated 1.45 million people were displaced from their homes, seeking refuge in over 4,000 relief camps established by governmental and non-governmental entities. The repercussions of the floods extended beyond immediate loss of life and property damage, profoundly impacting Kerala's economy, environment, and societal fabric. Agricultural sectors suffered immense losses, with approximately 54,000 hectares of crops submerged and over 45,000 animals perishing. Allegations of mismanagement and inadequate communication regarding dam operations surfaced, fueling public scrutiny and inflaming inter-community tensions. The calamity underscored the imperative for sustainable development practices, robust disaster preparedness mechanisms, and climate change mitigation strategies to fortify Kerala's resilience against future catastrophes. Now, coming to the movie that I'm discussing, 2018, Everyone is a Hero. That's a Malayalam language film based on this flood. Written and directed by Jude Anthony Joseph, the film stars some of the very popular actors in the Malayalam film industry. The film shattered box office records, becoming the highest grossing. The box office collection is calculated to be approximately 22 million US dollars. And it also entered the 100 billion club very fast. And it saved, hence, because it got released in 2023, it also kind of saved the regional regional film industry's post-pandemic lethargy. It was also selected as India's official entry for Best International Feature Film at the 96th Academy Awards. Although it didn't make the final cut, its selection highlights its impact and relevance. The film diminishes into the visuality, emotionality, and experientiality of flood because the apoliticism has spread out into strong undercurrents of commercialism by neglecting the political mappings altogether. This is what the key aspect which I will be looking at. So what I try to do here is to look at the film and its socio-cultural context and argue that the trend of following a Hollywood-like visual idiom has only augmented the already existing unjust aims and methods in visualizing the crisis-stricken spaces, despite its huge commercial success and global recognition. It tries to ask pertinent questions such as what does a melodramatic representation of a natural crisis obscure? What does it show? Who is it intended for? And how are the characters designed to cater to the intended audience? So there are there are many dams in Kerala. Out of the Mullaperiyar Dam and Idukki Dam are very significant because of the geopolitical nature. The Mullaperiyar Dam dispute is a long-standing contention between the Indian states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The primary issue revolves around the control and safety of the dam and the validity and fairness of the lease agreement for 999 years. Tamil Nadu wanted to raise the height of the dam, but the Kerala government opposed it. In 2006, the Supreme Court allowed Tamil Nadu to increase the water level in the dam to 142 feet. The dispute has been further complicated by differing views on the dam safety and the appropriate water level, leading to ongoing legal battles. The film, in its portrayal of power dynamics on water disputes between these two states, which is Kerala and Tamil Nadu, reinforces this binary and rivalry. Visual storytelling is a potent tool in conveying the scale and intensity of environmental disasters. In this film, cinematographer Akhil Jod skillfully frames the events in it, capturing both the mundane lives of the characters and the escalating crisis. The film's water effects are remarkable. The team blends CGI and practical wizardry seamlessly, plunging the audience into the heart of Kerala's terrifying moments. Rather than relying solely on VFX, the filmmakers developed authentic sets. The attention to detail in the artwork, set design, and production quality adds to the film's beauty. The entire movie feels natural and genuine, avoiding any sense of artificiality, which is a shortcoming in many other Indian movies that use a lot of animation. The authenticity lent by the team behind 2018 enhances the emotional impact, making the disaster more relatable to viewers. Uh, I would like to play a short clip from the film. So this, what took place on August 9th, 2018, is an event that caught the attention of a lot of media and people because Idukki Dam had opened after 26 years. And this moment in the film serves as a major proleptic moment. Right after this, the movie goes on to have multiple instances of such foreshadowing. Here we can see a fish, and this fish is a metaphor for what is to come. Human or non-human creatures, there is not much resistance that can be put up against a force of nature. The audience is presented with the most obvious question then. Are you ready to commiserate with the fish in this survival narrative? Uh, yeah, so now to talk about certain techniques that are used in this film as a melodrama. So there are many songs. There are 5 tracks that are listed in this film. And the first song in the film, which is titled as When Megham, which means white cloud, is all about positive anticipation of the fresh rain, rainbow, romancing the tenderness of it, showcasing it as an enchanting presence in generating hope to the people. It is a pleasant prelude to the upcoming grim turn of events. The second song, Minnal Minnane, which literally translates to lightning strikes, is an invitation to the rain, clouds, and the other paraphernalia of a monsoon. It is an upbeat song which shows rain gaining strength and how it is gradually affecting various institutions such as schools, colleges, tourism industry, and so on. At this stage, people perceive the season with a sense of familiarity and spiritful resilience, even when things start to literally go under the weather. footages from TikTok and YouTube that were popular for having a humorous take on the sudden flooding of streets, where people seem to enjoy jumping and floating in the water, are used in the song to add to its lightheartedness. While the representation of how tourists and the people involved in the hospitality business were affected in this calamity do matter, it is important to rethink why the European tourist representation was chosen as the comic, almost dumb figures in a bleak time of shutting down of livelihoods. So here we can see some of the scenes from the film where Patrick and Susan are two tourists, a couple from Poland who choose to visit Kerala, God's own country during this time. And they serve the purpose of them having getting a representation is to show the how tourists were stranded, how they were affected, even though it turned out to be comic relief characters. So Patrick is a famous blogger in his homeland, and along with his wife have chartered out to Kerala. And this story is frequently interrupted by musical and performance pieces that give us different ways to understand the character. These scenes which I have put here are not scenes per se; they are just small interludes from a song sequence. And through such melodramatic conflicts and also through a range of contrasting abilities and tendencies, certain aspects of the characters and the gaps in narrative are closed off by arranging events in across a song and punctuated by some dialogues in between. So this technique has allowed the director to exercise their liberty of not having to go into the depths of an actual crisis-driven moment. All we see here as how Patrick is incessantly trying to videograph the moments, and they are just very comically disappointed in knowing when they get to know that, oh, the boat race is cancelled, or something else, their homestay is not going to happen, and all these things. They can't go to the beach because police interfere while they try to move around in the city or villages. The film has only superficially grazed upon the cause of the flood, the efforts made by the government to unify the different groups that were involved in handling the emergency measures. The dominant impression conveyed to the public audience is the pressure on the bureaucracy to find a solution without causing panic and paranoia among the civilians. We also see how the seemingly responsible or cautious citizens, such as the journalist with the foresightedness, the regional shopkeeper who packs his bag with torch batteries and gets prepared for the worst, and the diligent civil servant who asserts that precaution is better than cure, are unanimously mocked for being cautious. The mockery also consists of alluding to the precautionary person as being a Noah who is building his ark in the time of a non-existing deluge. And fear is injected in different forms. I would like to play one more moment to illustrate this.
Last moment, ചെറുതും വലുതുമായിട്ട് വേറെ ഡാമുകളില്ല സാർ. അതിന്റെ എല്ലാ കരകളിലായിട്ട് ലക്ഷക്കണക്കിന് ആളുകൾ താമസിക്കുന്നത്. കടലിലാണെങ്കിൽ വെയിലേറ്റ സമയമാണ്. ഈ കയറുന്ന വെള്ളമൊന്നും അത്ര പെട്ടെന്ന് കടലിലേക്ക് വലിയില്ല സാർ, അപകടമാണ്.
നീ നിന്റെ ജോലി നോക്കിയാൽ മതി കേട്ടോ.
അങ്ങനെയല്ല സാർ, കരയിൽ വൻതോതിൽ വെള്ളം കയറും. അതിനു മുമ്പ് ജനങ്ങളെ മുഴുവൻ അലേർട്ടാക്കണം. ക്യാമ്പുകളിലേക്ക് മാറ്റാനുള്ളവരെ എത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന് മാറ്റിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ വലിയ
അതെല്ലാം കളക്ടർമാരുടെ പണിയാണേ. നിനക്കുള്ള പണി ഞാൻ തരാം. അവന്റെ ഒരു ഉപദേശം. അതെ, ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പറുകളെല്ലാം ന്യൂസ് ചാനലിൽ കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ ഡാമിൽ നിന്ന് വെള്ളം വരുന്നല്ലോ തുരുതുരാ കാളുകൾ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരും. അതെല്ലാം നോട്ട് ചെയ്യണം. ആരെങ്കിലും കുടുങ്ങിക്കിടക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് കൈമാറണം. മനസ്സിലായോ? അതിന്റെ ഇടയിലാണ് വേലിയേറ്റം.
So here we can see that how the higher official is very casual about the seriousness of things. Now coming to the
last moment,
yeah. In the post-intermission half of the film, one can see how effectively the script writers have utilized the Greek tragedy device peripeteia, which is the sudden reversal of fortunes. Since the movie's subtitle is Everyone is a Hero, nearly every major character progresses into a sudden reversal of circumstances concerning them. The musical score swells gradually to evoke the pathos of the situation and the piteous nature of the characters' plight, who are forced to relocate to relief camps put up in the schools and colleges of a locality. One of the scenes that received much applause and tears of joy from the audiences when the fishermen decide to offer their boats and human resources to help in the rescue operations. The social underdogs who are loathed by the upper class people become the real-life heroes. 2018 deserves appreciation for showing many tragic occurrences that happen in the larger canvas of a natural disaster and how heroes of the hour were formed and dissolved. In the aftermath of the event, there have been efforts to study this Kerala model of disaster management, which consisted of this organic method of fishermen coming into the forefront with their expertise and fearlessness in the wake of a water induced disaster. This highlights the importance of resourceful thinking and the efficient utilization of various stakeholders' potential during crisis. This aspect also underscores the significance of community engagement in disaster response and recovery. Pinarayi Vijayan, the chief minister, called the fishermen Kerala's own army to acknowledge their contributions. While all this is true, the movie also sends out a dangerous message that a community that has been unified by a priest and has his blessings becomes the sole agency in the rescue operations. Along with the police force, fire and safety department, state disaster management authorities, state revenue, water, electricity departments, and other miscellaneous departments and agencies had undertaken the rescue operations jointly. From the central government side, the National Disaster Response Force, the Army, Navy, and Air Force were instrumental in carrying out the rescues. The director seems to have an explanation ready for this selective omission, that his telling is only about the lived experiences of a common person who went through the risks of flood. This negates any possibility of reading politics, or rather, the absence of politics in his film. In the director's idea of the film, the technicalities dominate the diction, the aesthetics dominate the politics. But in the process, a lot of reality is obfuscated and distorted. The hyper-dramatic narrative in 2018 serves as a double-edged sword. While it effectively engages viewers emotionally, it occasionally obscures nuanced realities. The film's balance between heroism and hardship is crucial. While celebrating resilience, it should also acknowledge vulnerability, loss, and trauma to provide a more holistic representation. When one hero single handedly saves the day, it downplays the importance of teamwork and community resilience. Disaster response relies on coordinated efforts, first responders, volunteers, and affected communities working together. Unrealistic heroes like Anoop, the protagonist in the movie, can skew our perception of risk. So this scene, figure 9, shows that how Anoop ran away from a military because he was scared of seeing the deaths in army camp. So he had run away from the military, scared of death. And in the moment of crisis, he becomes the hero of everyone by saving literally everyone in that movie. And here in this particular scene, it is the film has tried to recreate an actual event that happened during the flood, during the crisis. Indian Air Force had rescued a pregnant woman through airlift, and this was a major news that time. And but in this film, it is just shown as a one-man show, one-man heroic moment where there is no assistance from medical side, while the reality is completely different from that. The power of cinema lies in its ability to evoke emotions through imagery, whether it is the haunting sight of floating carcasses of animals or the struggle of families stranded on rooftops. By immersing the audience in these visuals, the film drives home the gravity of environmental challenges. However, as we saw, the characters in the film undergo abrupt transformations. Moreover, many fearful individuals become fearless heroes overnight. While this conveniently serves the film's emotional arc, it simplifies the complexities of human responses during crisis. These are some of the questions unanswered by the film. What happens to the hero after the adrenaline fades? How does everyone who became a hero cope with survivor's guilt and post-traumatic stress? How severe is the toll of sacrifice on individuals and families? With that, I will leave it there. Okay.